Okay, now we're looking at adding fractions from different families. So here we have 1/4 plus 1/5. You'll notice that our fifths don't line up with our fourths. We can't change just one of our fractions. We need to change both of them. So we need to find an equivalent of our fractions. And that is called a common denominator, which is basically what we were doing before. In this case, we need to look at the family members and see how can we make them so that they have the same number on bottom. Well, let's look at the family numbers. We have 1/4, we have 8ths in the family, we have 12ths in the family, 16ths, and 20ths. Okay, let's look at our fifths. And we have 5ths in the family, 10ths, 15ths, and 20ths. Okay, I see a common denominator, meaning in both families, they have 20ths. So the common denominator is 20ths. Okay, so this is, so our common denominator is 20ths. They both have 20ths in their families. So we can write 20ths like that, 20ths, 1/20th, okay? But really, it's really the 20ths in general that is the common denominator. All right, let's see what this looks like when we're adding, okay? So we're gonna skip this page. I've crossed this one off, and I want you to go straight to this page, fourths and fifths. Here we are, back at fourths and fifths, okay? We know now that the common denominator of fourths and fifths is 20ths, okay? Let's practice some adding now. So we're looking at 1/4 plus 1/5. Now, we need the denominator to match. We now know that our common denominator is 20ths. Okay, so we're going to convert those both to 20ths. Let's start by coloring. Oops, sorry, there we go. Let's start by coloring. So this is my helpful thing that I do. Okay, I put my 20ths down here so that I can remember. I need to change them both to 20ths. Let's start with the coloring part. If I'm talking about 1/4, how much is 1/4 in 20ths? Well, let's just color it in. My 1/4 is here. That line goes to here. 1/4 in 20ths is that many. Okay, how much is 1/5 in 20ths? There's my line. 1/5 in 20ths is that many. Okay, so if we're just using our fraction bars to calculate it, let's do that. How many? 1/4 in 20ths, we're going to call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 20ths. It's the same amount, but it's the equivalent fraction, right? Okay, 1/5 in 20ths is 1, 2, 3, 4 20ths. Okay, we can do this by using our fraction bar, but we need to move away from that. What we're going to do instead is we decided that 20ths was our common denominator. So we put it right here. And now we're going to, how could we have done the math, right? Same question. How can we get from 4 to 20? What do we I want you to look at your multiplication chart and see, how can we get from 4 to 20? What would we multiply 4 by to get to 20? Okay, if you're looking at your multiplication chart, you should be able to see that we multiply 4 times 5. And remember, we have to do the same on top. And let's see. Do we get the same answer? 1 times 5 is 5. Yes, 4 times 5 is 20. Cool, we got the same answer. 1/5. How do we get from fifths to 20ths? We're going to need to multiply by 4. Okay, let's see if that works. 1 times 4 is 4 20ths. Ding, ding. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so here, this is correct. We did it the right way. We could have done it the multiplying way. We can do it the coloring way this time. And now we can just add across. 4 plus 5 is 9. Keep that bottom denominator. Okay, let's do the same thing on this one. 3/4 plus 1/5. I'm going to go ahead and color. 3/4, 1, 2, 3. We're going down to 20ths. Okay, we're going to keep that line. We need it to be the common denominator. Okay, so let's just remind ourselves. This needs to be switched. We need to convert or change that into 20ths. Doesn't mean the amount is changing, but our numbers are changing so we can add them. Let's color. Let's go up top. 3/4 we're talking about. 1, 2, 3/4. Let's go down to 20ths. Okay. How many fifths are we talking about? 1/5. Oh, we've already got that one. 1/5 is that many. Okay, let's count. Should we count first? Let's do that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so our 3/4, if we do the math right, it should be 15 20ths. We're going to double check that in a minute. Our 1/5 is still the same as what it was down here, so that's still 4 20ths. I'm not going to accept this. I need you to show me, because we can use this for the beginning, but you're going to need to be able to show me in multiplication. Okay, same thing. How do we get from 4 to 20? If we multiply by 5, 5 on top and on bottom. 3 times 5 is 15. Yay, we did it right. 4 times 5 is 20. We did it right. Good. How do we get from 5 to 20? Times 4 times 4. Okay, 1 times 4 is 4 20ths. 4 times 5, okay. 15 plus 4 is 19 20ths. 15 plus 4 is 19 20ths. That should be right, right? Let's double check that. So we did, here's our 15, here's our 4. Let's add those 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yep, that's 19 20ths. Okay.